Hey guys, I want to share my thoughts about Elden Ring DLC. I think the name was Shadow 33. So I just beat the final boss, and yeah, I just want to talk about my experience in the DLC. It's from the perspective like an average player. Um, so yeah, a lot of people are saying how the DLC is too hard, which I mean it's obviously much harder than base game. That's the case with every single FromSoft DLC ever made. So yeah, it's obviously going to be that way. But I think most of the people are just not exploring enough. For example, I got max blessings because I couldn't beat the final boss. And well, another boss, the most annoying boss I have ever fought against, the Petresian Knight. And I also got my Spirit Ash blessings up because, well, I'm kind of using the Mimic tier a lot, so it is what it is. But yeah, as you can see, with all these blessings, my damage negation is insane. My damage is also really good, even though the attack rating of this weapon is not really that great for two-hand weapon. It's mostly the bleed that's good, not really the rating, and it still gives it 1300 rating. Oh, I didn't even two-hand it. Now it has 1476. So it basically has double your damage and double your damage negation, and then your mimic is also stronger. So yeah, I kind of like this new leveling, and it's obviously because players who just go in the DLC and there is no new system for like scaling or leveling, they'll just destroy every boss and then they'll be like, oh, this shit is too easy, waste of money. Because the fun from Souls games comes from overcoming a challenge. So yeah, I really like the leveling. The only thing I don't like about the bosses is that I mean, I don't like how many mounted bosses are. I hate mounted bosses because they just run around, and since I'm a melee guy, I sometimes I can't even hit them once before they like run around me. Like they miss their combo, and then I try to hit them, but I miss because they just sprint away. That's so annoying. But other than that, some of the bosses are kind of too intense. Like they're so aggressive, and keep attacking you all the time. So it can be kind of difficult to get used to it. But in time, like you just learn the patterns of the boss and you just beat them. The only boss you can't really learn the patterns of is kind of the final boss. At least for me, it's so hard. It was so hard to learn his patterns in the second stage. I just couldn't dodge his attacks. First stage was so easy, like it was hilariously easy for a final boss. But second stage, I had to cheese with the blood build in order to beat him. So yeah, it's it's not. Maybe they'll nerf the final boss a little bit so more people can beat him, but it's probably not since it's FromSoft. But yeah, I really like the DLC. There is a lot of content. There are a lot of unique weapons, weapon arts, even armor pieces that are giving unique shit. For example, I have two of them here in my build. One slightly increased max HP stamina and max equipment load, doesn't have the best armor, but yeah, if I go with anything else, I'm basically. Although it's not that great, it gives me just 30 HP, I guess, and like 5 stamina. But it's still, I still really like it. Then it's this thing that gives me increased damage dealt to foes, but greatly increased damage taken by the wearer. Kinda reminds me of this talisman, really. But yeah, there is so much content that makes it worth the $40. Of course, it's worth only if you have beaten Mog and Radan. But also, since I played this not in New Game Plus, this fresh character, because I was too big a pussy to start the DLC with my New Game Plus 9 character. uh, my perception of the difficulty is kinda will be different from yours if you're playing, for example, in New Game Plus 7, so keep that in mind. But for me, like, even though I'm kind of an average player, even though my build is kind of shit, I had to. Also, I played through the game with what is my weapon? With this weapon. I played through most of it with this weapon, and I had like a quality build. I had like 80 dex and then 50 strength. Then not in arcane fate, intelligence, etc. I wasn't using any spells for buffs, any incantations. Wasn't really using buffs from the wondrous physic. Any like broken weapon arts. I was just going with this bad boy, and I could still beat many of the bosses. So yeah, you could as well, especially if you have a better build. But yeah, and my favorite part from the DLC personally was this area here, and the stealth part of the game. If you haven't went through this area, you have to use stealth in order to pass through these guys. You can see this guy just walking around, because if he catches you, he's not targetable, at least for me. I can't do anything to him. Maybe you can parry, I know. And you just die. You cannot do anything. So you have to go through this way, through stealth. And yeah, it's pretty fun. I really like that they explore the stealth part of the game. I wish they would expand more on it in maybe future games, because they said no more DLCs for Elden Ring, which is a shame, but it is what it is. But yeah, overall, I really liked this DLC, and I'll keep playing it, keep upgrading the weapons, find what suits me the best. Because my current build is basically suited for the final boss. Every single part of it is trying to fit that cheese to cheese the boss, because I just couldn't beat him with my standard build. No way. I couldn't even get him to like 30 or 40% health. So yeah, but yeah, it was a great experience, and I would recommend you to get a DLC, especially if it's on discount, and try it for yourself. Just again, don't be stubborn and refuse to use summons, or refuse to go out and get blessings. Even if you're a terrible player like me, if you get enough of these blessings, most of the bosses will be like a walk in the park. So Yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next video. Bye bye.